Thanks, Anne, and good afternoon, everyone. I can look down here. There we go. Okay. So in 2009, Provincial Tourism Report was commissioned, and one of the recommendations to the Ministry of Tourism at the time was that they set up funds for regional tourism organizations across the province. So following this recommendation, RTO 9 was set up and established in 2010 as a not-for-profit incorporated business. Each year, RTO 9 enters into a transfer payment agreement with the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Sport, and this year our current funding from the ministry is $1.3 million. The organization is governed by a 13-member board of directors, which represents various businesses and operations across the region. The mandate of the RTO 9 is to develop and promote tourism for southeastern Ontario, and we do this in collaboration with our 10 destinations. So just to give you an idea of where our boundaries are, so we go from the Ontario-Quebec border in the east, and we head west right through to Quinte West. We also cover Prince Edward County, and we share the Rideau Canal with two other RTOs, RTO 11 and Ottawa Tourism. So we have a pretty big geographic boundary to cover. When the ministry set up all of the RTOs, they provided guidelines, and part of the guidelines included 5 pillars that we're required to operate under. So those are product development, marketing, workforce development, investment attraction, and partnerships. So I'm just going to give you an idea of a few of the initiatives we've undertaken in the last fiscal year in each of these pillars. So under product development, we've worked on things like itinerary development, experiential tourism training and coaching, and building capacity for Indigenous tourism. Under marketing, we work with our 10 destinations as well as Destination Ontario to execute campaigns in categories such as cruising, theatre, and wellness. And we actively engage with consumers on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also have a consumer website that drives traffic to each of our 10 destinations. We produce a monthly consumer newsletter and regularly run contests in partnership with our stakeholders. Additionally, we have an industry-facing website that we use to promote our workshops, and we also post various reports, such as research reports, on our industry site. We've developed and implemented a workforce development plan over 2 years to help with some of the workforce shortages we have across the region. And some of these initiatives included 2 marketing campaigns, a series of webinars and training opportunities, online courses. We developed an HR toolkit. We've just been working with St. Lawrence College, and we've constructed a mobile training unit, which I was happy to take a look at yesterday. So we're excited. We'll be rolling that out to the high schools in the near future. And we're also currently working with Keys Employment to produce an EDI toolkit that will be released soon. In March of 2022, we worked in partnership with our 10 destinations and economic development offices, and we developed a Phase 1 investment attraction plan. The plan identified the current workforce situation, it identified opportunities, and prioritized strategic areas for development for the region. And lastly, we work as a catalyst to build strategic alignment and promote collaboration amongst our destinations and stakeholders. And one of the ways we do this is through our partnership funds, which I'll address later. And just to give you an idea of sort of the tourism funnel, as we like to call it. So we've got industries and businesses, which typically work with your DMO and your DMP, which are your destination marketing organizations and destination marketing programs. And then we have the RTO, so we cover the whole region. So we're the regional tourism organizations. And then we work with Destination Ontario, and they work up with Destination Canada. So although it's a funnel, there's still a lot of up and down and sometimes skipping around. So collaboration does happen, say, between Destination Ontario and industries as well. So I just wanted to give you an example of one of the ways we've worked with our destination marketing organizations in the past. So we collaborated with them on what we called our Drive for Excellence program. So it was a progressive tourism development support program designed to maximize economic impact and long-term value for each of our destinations in the region, allowing the destinations to self-identify their current readiness and needs. So some of the projects we worked on them included content creation and digital asset development, governance strategies, paid search, destination development plans, digital media campaigns, asset development for meetings and conventions, influencers and PR media fam tours, feasibility studies, and video development. So what we do is we really strive to work with the needs of each destination, recognizing that they're not all at the same level of development. When COVID hit, as Anne mentioned, the tourism industry took a really hard hit. So one of the things that we came up with was a Rail and Roam campaign. So this was a partnership between Lansby, a travel agency, Via Rail, and RTO 9. So we launched our Rail and Roam campaign, and the goal of the campaign was to drive interest in winter getaways across the region. So we worked with destinations that were on the rail line, such as Cornwall, Brockville, Thousand Islands, Gananoque, and Kingston. The campaign promoted unique hub-and-spoke winter experiences and stays created by packaging that Lansby created. We promoted safe local travel by train and from key Ontario markets, and Via Rail provided fare discounts for this. The campaign performed really well across all social channels. We had a total of 1.2 million impressions, and we generated 24,875 clicks at a CTR of 2.3%, which is well above the industry benchmark of 0.9%. So we had over 248,000 paid post engagements, which generated including 618 reactions, 48 comments, 83 shares, and 90 saves. And to give you an idea of what one of the packages looked like, we worked with Panaji House in Gananoque. So it included a full gourmet breakfast, a 5-course dinner, helicopter tour, and during the course of the campaign, this package generated the most conversion overall. The Rail and Roam campaign was recently recognized with 3 Ontario Tourism Resilience Awards at the Ontario Tourism Summit this past October. So the value of partnership is really important, so I encourage all of you to do what you do best and partner for the rest. The Great Taste of Ontario. So we participated in the Great Taste of Ontario. It was a provincially recovery program involving 90-plus partners, which were DMOs, RTOs, sector organizations, and media. The program was designed to encourage Ontarians to rediscover the province and to boost regional economies by increasing tourism visits. Its success was dependent on a unique mix of destination development, market readiness training, procurement tracking, and strategic marketing partnerships. The Great Taste of Ontario campaign was centered around a collection of hyperlocal passports that would inspire Ontario residents to first rediscover their home region, and then, when safe to do so, travel around the province. The downloadable passports were created per destination, and we had over 850 passports downloaded from the RTO 9 region. Another great example of a partnership that we've done is our cruise campaign. So the purpose of the campaign was to promote different cruises offered in southeastern Ontario. During the campaign period, in partnership with Destination Ontario and our cruise operators, we ran the campaign from May 2nd to June 5th. The campaign metrics were extremely high, outperforming all outdoor product spotlights content due to its targeted messaging for specific product. Overnight water cruising in southeastern Ontario, as well as day trip cruise opportunities in the Thousand Islands. Overall channel impression results for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram were 6.8 million, with a total of over 105,000 leads to our partners. Additionally, through our agency of record, we augmented the campaign with Facebook and Instagram posts and generated an additional 3.6 million impressions. As I mentioned earlier, we have what we call our partnership funds. So this is a specific amount of money, $219,000, that each year the ministry requires us to match funding with out of our operating budget. So typically we have 2 intake periods, one in the winter and one in the spring. So one will go from April 1st to September 30th, and the second will go from October 1st to March 31st. So this year, the categories we chose to work with our partners on were new and enhanced tourism products, digitizing your business, and signage. This is a 50-50 partnership between RTO 9 and our stakeholders, and these funds have been specifically designed to assist tourism operators to grow their business, so all the funds flow into the RTO, and the RTO pays out to third-party services. And what we do too is we really encourage our operators to work with different partners across the region as well, just to enhance the products and offerings that they have. So as an example of one of the approved partnership projects, we worked with Springfield Farm on their Field and Feast Festival that took place this past September. So Springfield Farm partnered with 11 businesses to host the Field and Feast event. The event showcased the importance of agritourism, culinary heritage, and brought together a culinary collaboration between an Indigenous chef and an Irish chef. Guests were treated to a 5-course meal highlighting culture, foraged food, and local farms. Additionally, students from the Akwesasne and Cornwall area were invited to a catered lunch and learn, which gave them an opportunity to learn about the Indigenous and Irish cultures and how culinary tourism is a growing trend for southeastern Ontario. The event was sold out with over 160 guests in attendance. Not only did the guests enjoy a fabulous dinner, they had a chance to experience southeastern Ontario as a destination. Thank you, miigwech, and merci.
There we go. Thanks so much. We do have a few minutes. Anyone have some questions on Bonnie for RTO 9, Regional Tourism Organization number 9, and Mayor Peckford, you have a question.
Buying other people time to formulate their questions, but certainly a very impressive list, by the way, of initiatives, clearly compelling, unique. Tell me, where do you think the biggest growth in the market lies, right? We saw some of the ag tourism, right, capitalizing on waterways. Of all of the initiatives and campaigns that you ran, where do you see the biggest opportunity to further leverage some of the destinations? We're very proud in North Grenville and in the United Counties of Leeds and Grenville to really amplify some of what you're doing. So I'd just be curious to know where you think the low-hanging fruit is going forward.
I think experiential tourism is definitely on the rise, so anything you can do in that concept. And the way we work too is we work as a regional tourism organization, so our goal is always to get people to travel throughout the region. So anything you can do that will push travelers to continue on into another municipality or another destination is always something we favor. Because we do cover the whole region. So again, the experiential tourism, agritourism, Indigenous tourism, they're all on the rise right now. So anything you can do, people just want to get out. They want to see things. They want to feel things. They want to know where your food came from. They want to talk to you about, how you grow things, where you forage things from. They want to pet your sheep. They want to do goat yoga. They want to do all that great stuff, right? So anything you can do that way is definitely a plus for tourism right now.
Goat yoga, we're going there, are we? Okay. Next activity at the next summit. Another question for Bonnie at all? Do I see it? Okay, I'll give you a question because this happens often in our region. Tell us a little about from media, getting free press. How does a community get free press? And in the way of when we've hosted some media tours through here.
Yeah, no, great question, Anne. We work with a lot of PR, public relations, media people. We work with a company right now called Tartan Bond that helps us make those connections. So it's really important to have those connections with unearned media. to get somebody to come to your community, to stay for a few days, to experience what you experience, and to go home and write about it, to blog about it, to vlog about it. It's crazy. It goes viral on the internet, and you just start to see, people hitting your website after that. So any connections, we do quite a bit of it with the RTO, but we always do it in partnership with our destinations and with our stakeholders. So, we want to go into a community, we reach out to the DMO or the DMP, we say, we've got this great person to come, how can you help us bring this together? So, find us an accommodator, find us an experience for them, find us things to do. Cynthia Peters is here with, and we've done some stuff with Cynthia. So, it's just really good to always partner with somebody.
Excellent. Is Cynthia here?
Yep,
There she
Cynthia's
is.
here.
Cynthia, do you want to actually, I'll get Shelby to walk towards you, talk a little about the type of experiences that you are doing. And in the meantime, Bonnie, film. Tell us a little bit what's going on in film.
Yeah. So over the last course of a year and a half, I guess, we've been working with the Regional Film or Tourism Kingston Film Office on a regional film initiative. So we worked with the film commissioner there to really build up the database of assets and products that we have in the region. So they hired a few students. We went to each of the destinations. We photographed places that would be good for film, hallmark moments, all those great things. All these photos have been uploaded to a database, the Ontario Library database for film. We're also undertaking right now a piece on our website through a program called Real Scout. And what that will do is it will be a one-stop shop for any media people. So they call into the film office and say, what have you got that I can shoot a production for 2 or 3 days in southeastern Ontario? We send them to Real Scout. All the destinations are listed. All the areas are photographed. They talk about, the permits that are needed, how many square feet the buildings are. So everything is covered in that initiative.
Excellent. And we do have some of Leeds Grenville covered. We're going to try and get some more.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk about, from a regional perspective, what we're doing as a region under my presentation. But I want, Bonnie, this was something that they led and doing a great job. So I'm just going to go over to talk with Cynthia. Tell us about an experience that is happening at your place, because this fits well with what Bonnie is talking about and how others can do this. Go ahead, Cynthia, and maybe introduce yourself.
Yes. My name is Cynthia Peters. My husband and I moved to this region just a year ago now. We were in Prince Edward County, and as I say, we moved down the waterway, just a little east, and we bought, many of you may have known, the old Maplehurst Manor. We bought that and have turned that into a culinary destination, and I have been running a farm-to-table cooking school in Prince Edward County for 12 years, and so we were really pleased to find our new home in this region and to launch the cooking school and soon to be accommodations as well this upcoming summer. But I have worked with RTO 9 in both locations, and what has really been evident, certainly the farm to table was new about 10 years ago. It certainly has grown into a really good experiential, popular thing, as Bonnie was saying, and to give people a real opportunity to learn where their food comes. I'm connecting with many of the farmers here, of course, as well, and taking people out to the local markets and connecting with the food and the cideries and breweries and all this wonderful thing. So people are very excited to be in this region, and I'm happy to showcase all the businesses in this industry as part of it.
I'd like, Ann. I just would like to add that how I feel you are very lucky to have Cynthia within Leeds Grenville now. Cynthia was one of the driving forces behind what has happened in Prince Edward County, and we all know what has happened in Prince Edward County. So I think you're very fortunate to have a real entrepreneur driver like Cynthia in Leeds Grenville right now.
And we do have some amazing products in this region. I'm just looking at Sean from Windmill Brewery and others. So it's a great opportunity to partner and share and make these amazing experiences come to light. Bonnie, thank you. I know you've got a date with a granddaughter
Yes,
birthday.
I do.
So thank you for joining us today. Truly appreciate it.